Chris Tucker is a famous comedian and actor best known for his role.
Chris Tucker? Rush Hour Chris Tucker? Terrific guy. He likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. Trump. They were on the younger side. Indeed, on the younger side. Unfortunately, way too young. If you've been keeping up with the American news, you would probably know that there has been a very notorious list known as the Jeffrey Epstein list, basically where all his PDF homies are exposed on. And I guess that list has yet to have been completely revealed to the public, but so far we do know of some people who were on it. Some people I heard of that might be on it were Trump. I heard LeBron James could have been on it. Obama maybe. Among other celebrities, politicians, businessmen, etc. So today we're going to be checking out every celebrity on the Epstein list explained.
Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein first became acquainted in the late 1980s to early 1990s.
Damn, so they've been locked in. They've been twins. Yo, Trump used to look so different, bro. Now he's orange, bro.
Both men were active in New York in Palm Beach high society, which made it easy for them to cross paths. Trump was already known as a wealthy businessman and real estate developer, while Epstein was building influence as a financier with...
I don't know why, but for me, it feels kind of crazy to know that the freaking president was a businessman. Like, isn't this man just gonna put policies in the best interest of freaking business? But maybe I'm wrong.
While Epstein was building influence as a financier with powerful connections. In 2002, Trump gave an interview to New York Magazine in which he described Epstein as a friend. He said, "I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. He likes beautiful women as much as I do."
Terrific guy. Epstein, describing Epstein as a terrific guy, you already messed up, bro. Because at that point, what can you really do to defend yourself? Terrific guy. He likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. Trump. They were on the younger side. Indeed, on the younger side. Unfortunately, way too young. And it doesn't matter how you slice this pie, this sentence is freaking weird.
He likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
Ew, bro.
This comment has been widely quoted because it suggests that Trump was aware of Epstein's preference for very young women.
He was aware of it, but he also participated in it, bro. He says he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. He didn't say unlike me, bro. He's a part of that.
There is also video footage from a 1992 party held at Mar-a-Lago, Trump's private resort in Palm Beach, Florida.
What?
In the video, Trump and Epstein can be seen laughing together, pointing at women, and enjoying themselves in the company of cheerleaders.
You want that young one? Which one? Which young one do you? Let me show.
This footage supports the idea that the two men were socially close at the time. Flight records from the 1990s show that Trump and some members of his family flew on Epstein's private jet.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, they're locked in. They are pals, bro. They are sandbox boys. I'm not putting nobody on my private jet that I'm not really cool with like this. I don't have no freaking private jet, but if I did have one.
They show that Trump and some members of his family flew on Epstein's private jet. The jet was sometimes referred to in the media as the Lolita Express.
Okay.
Although there is no evidence that illegal activity took place on the specific flights involving Trump. Epstein also kept a personal address book, sometimes called the Black Book, which contained names and contact details of many high-profile individuals, including Donald Trump. This book has been made public through court filings and investigative journalism.
Okay, so is Trump's information in here?
Epstein also once claimed, according to author Michael Wolff, that Trump was one of his closest friends. He reportedly told stories about their time together, including nights in New York and Atlantic City, where they would look for women to meet.
There's nothing you could tell me to make me believe that they did not both participate in some crazy activities together. You mean to tell me this man did a bunch of illegal stuff with young people and this guy just did not, even though they're best friends?
Epstein described these outings as part of their routine during their friendship. However, by 2004, the relationship between Trump and Epstein came to an end. Reports suggest that their falling out happened during a bidding war over a luxury mansion in Palm Beach.
You fell out over a freaking mansion? You fell out over a mansion and not because of his freaking weird practices?
Trump won the bid, and some sources say Epstein never forgave him for it. Other unconfirmed reports claim that Trump banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago after complaints that he had behaved inappropriately toward young women working at the club.
Okay.
While that ban was never officially confirmed, it has been repeated by various media outlets over the years.
Perhaps paid propaganda because it's never been confirmed, but the media is saying it? What?
By various media outlets over the years. After Epstein was arrested in 2019, Trump publicly distanced himself from him. When asked by reporters, Trump said, "I had a falling out with him a long time ago. I was not a fan of his."
You weren't a fan of him until later in his life, but in the beginning and middle of his life and for much of it, you guys were best friends.
Claimed that they had not spoken in over 15 years and denied any close relationship after their fallout. Later, during his political campaigns, Trump made additional comments. He at one point promised to release grand jury transcripts and other documents related to Epstein's criminal network. However, he later shifted his position, calling the people demanding the documents troublemakers. And
is that because you're on them? They're just trying to reveal information to the public, bro. Information that we want to know. We want to expose these bad people.
Referring to the Epstein issue as a distraction created by political opponents.
What?
No official legal filings or testimonies have ever accused Trump of participating in Epstein's sex trafficking activities. Multiple news outlets, including the Washington Post, have confirmed that there is no direct evidence linking Trump to any of Epstein's crimes. Still, the fact that he was once socially close to Epstein continues to raise questions, especially in the court of public opinion.
For Trump, if you're so sure that you were never a part of any of his weird activities, why not just release the documents to the public? I mean, like, there's not going to be anything crazy on there of your name. It's kind of a lose-lose situation, if I'm being honest. If the FBI freaking reveals the list and Trump was on it, but Epstein was lying, Trump is cooked, bro. If he hides it and decides to not reveal it, he's cooked also, because people are gonna be like, oh, why are you hiding it? So it doesn't matter.
Bill Clinton's name often comes up in conversations about Jeffrey Epstein. This is mainly because they were connected through global charity work and political circles in the late 1990s and early 2000s. By this point, Epstein was known as a wealthy financier who donated to high-profile causes and moved in elite circles. While Clinton had just left the White House and was becoming
the hell going on here? Charitable acts, I guess.
Deeply involved in international philanthropy. One of the earliest links between them was through the Clinton Global Initiative. Epstein was reportedly interested in being part of its early development. He was also active in major organizations like the Council on Foreign Relations. These overlapping interests in global development brought them into contact with one another. According to visitor logs, Epstein visited the White House at least 17 times between 1993 and 1995.
You let him into the freaking president's house? You let this scum? I guess it wasn't revealed that he was a bad guy.
During these visits, he reportedly attended donor events alongside musicians and other guests. These meetings took place while Clinton was still president, although there is no evidence that the two men were close at the time. More attention was brought to their connection when it was revealed that Clinton flew on Epstein's private jet in the early 2000s. Flight records confirm that Clinton traveled on the jet at least 4 times between 2002 and 2003. These trips were to places like Europe, Asia, and Africa. Clinton was involved in speaking engagements and global health missions tied to his foundation. Each trip included Clinton's staff, Secret Service agents, and other invited guests. There is no evidence that these flights involved any illegal activity. When Epstein was arrested in 2019, Clinton publicly denied knowing anything about Epstein's crimes. In a statement, his office explained that Clinton had not spoken with Epstein in many years and had never visited Epstein's private island in the Caribbean. However, one of Epstein's accusers...
It's in the Caribbean? I actually didn't even know that. So, like, are they just a bunch of Jamaicans working on the island? Who's on there?
Virginia Giuffre later claimed that Clinton had been on the island in 2002. She said Epstein told her he owed Clinton favors, but there are no records, and Clinton has strongly denied ever visiting the island.
Of course there are no freaking records. You have billions of dollars, bro. You can get all the files erased, bro. You can talk to the news outlets. You can manipulate the media. There's not going to be any records, so...
His 2024 memoir titled Citizen, Clinton described Epstein as odd and admitted he regretted ever meeting him. He explained that Epstein had become involved in elite donor networks and was not someone he considered a close friend. Importantly, Bill Clinton has never been accused of any sexual misconduct in connection with Epstein's crimes. No court filings or law enforcement investigations have linked him to the sex trafficking operation that Epstein was eventually charged with. Although Clinton has explained and defended his past contact with Epstein, public interest in the story continues.
Are we going to choose to just go based on her word, or are we going to go based on Clinton and their no evidence? Because let's be honest, with that no evidence stuff, sometimes they be getting the evidence wiped off.
Kevin Spacey, a well-known actor, has been named in documents related to Jeffrey Epstein. These connections have raised questions, especially because of Spacey's own legal troubles in recent years. However, based on current public records, his link to Epstein appears limited to few public events and documents, with no evidence of direct involvement in Epstein's crimes. One of the clearest links between Spacey and Epstein comes from a 2002 humanitarian trip organized by the Clinton Foundation. Spacey, along with former President Bill Clinton and other public figures, flew on Epstein's private jet to visit several countries in Africa.
And do what?
Records confirm that Spacey was on the jet during this time. The purpose of this journey was to support international aid work and raise awareness for public health.
Why is a freaking actor like Kevin Spacey having any type of relations with a dude like Epstein? Like, where are they even making any connection? Isn't Epstein like a freaking rich businessman and freaking Kevin Spacey an actor? Focus on your movies, bro. As a matter of fact, we need somebody to replace The Rock. The Rock is in way too many movies and he's not even that good of an actor, bro.
Issues. Young girls were seen at some of the visited charity centers, which later led to media speculation. However, Spacey has stated he was unaware of any inappropriate activity and had no personal relationship with Epstein.
Okay.
In addition to the flight, there is a
That's what they all say, by the way. Nobody on here is like, oh yeah, I had a relationship with them. They're all gonna say, nope, not me. Which, you mean to tell me that Epstein didn't like randomly slip up one day just drunk as hell, just like stumbling on his words like, by the way, I have kids on this island and they're trapped. Don't tell nobody though. Epstein never revealed that to nobody, bro. I know how people get when they're sauced up. They be revealing all types of information, bro. They'll be tell you how they cheated on their wife, private island of children, all the above, bro.
Showing Kevin Spacey seated beside Ghislaine Maxwell at Buckingham Palace. In the photo, the two are smiling while sitting on ceremonial thrones used by the British royal family.
Okay.
According to Spacey, the visit was part of a public tour, and he did not know Maxwell personally. In July 2025, Kevin Spacey made public statements requesting that the government release all Epstein-related files. He wrote online, "Release the Epstein files, all of them. For those of us with nothing to fear, the truth cannot
See,
come
this
soon."
is what everybody should be saying, bro. Everybody who's linked to the freaking Epstein files, they should all be standing like that. Boom, hand on the chest like, yo, I pledge allegiance to the freaking flag of the United States of America. Stand on business, bro. Say that there's nothing in the Epstein files about your name, because the truth cannot come soon enough for those of us with nothing to fear.
This message was seen by some as an attempt to clear his name and distance himself from the ongoing conspiracy theories surrounding Epstein's network.
Right.
Spacey has consistently stated that he had never visited Epstein's island and that he did not maintain any kind of personal friendship with Epstein or Maxwell. As of now, there is no credible evidence placing him at the center of Epstein's criminal activities.
Okay.
Prince Andrew, the Duke of York and second son of Queen Elizabeth II, became connected to Jeffrey Epstein in the late 1990s. Their relationship began through Ghislaine Maxwell, where Prince Andrew stated that he met Maxwell first, and that she later introduced
Who is Maxwell, by the way? Is she like some important figure? Is she the freaking princess of England or something? What's the...
him to Epstein. From there, their association grew as all three operated within elite circles of politics, wealth, and international philanthropy.
Okay.
By the year 2000, Prince Andrew was spending time socially with Epstein and Maxwell.
Okay.
Reports confirmed that he had invited them to several royal events, including a shooting party at Sandringham and gatherings at Windsor Castle and Buckingham Palace. These were not secretive meetings. They were part of the royal calendar, which included many international guests.
Okay.
Epstein and Maxwell's presence, however, gained later attention due to what was eventually revealed about their private criminal activities.
Oh, so they did crimes together?
One major moment of controversy came in December 2010, when Prince Andrew was photographed walking through Central Park with Jeffrey Epstein.
Doing what?
This happened shortly
Why the hell are you guys walking through Central Park? Isn't freaking Prince Andrew, I'm assuming he's British, right? Like the prince?
This happened shortly after Epstein had been released from prison on charges related to the solicitation of a minor.
So you see that somebody's soliciting a freaking minor and you're gonna be cool with them? Prince Andrew, nah, I ain't gonna lie, this guy is definitely on the list. He's definitely on the list and he's definitely been to the island and he's definitely participated in some weird stuff. If somebody I knew was freaking caught soliciting any minors, I'm not gonna be caught with them. I'm not gonna be talking with them. I'm cutting them off immediately, bro. It's over.
The public response was strong, as many questioned why a senior member of the British royal family would continue to associate with someone already convicted of a sex crime.
Right, and it's not even just like a freaking harassment charge. It says something about being with a freaking minor.
Buckingham Palace released a statement soon after, saying that the prince had ended his friendship with Epstein and regretted the meeting.
You regret getting caught. No, you did not. What do you mean? You probably bailed him out with your own money.
The issue connected to Prince Andrew involves the allegations made by Virginia Giuffre, one of Epstein's most vocal accusers.
Oh.
In court filings, Giuffre claimed that she had been forced to have sexual encounters with Prince Andrew when she was only 17 years old. She alleged that these encounters happened in London, New York, and on Epstein's private island.
No, I believe her.
A widely circulated photo shows Prince Andrew with his arm around Giuffre's waist at Ghislaine Maxwell's London home. Maxwell is also visible in the background. Andrew has denied.
You are in 4K, Prince Andrew. Yo, no. Hopefully he's arrested. Is he arrested? Did something happen to him?
At any memory of meeting Giuffre and question the authenticity of the photo.
There's no way, bro. That picture of you holding the freaking waist of a minor is not AI, bro. AI did not exist like that back then. What do you mean the authenticity? Hearsay, Your Honor. That photo is fake. That's not gonna work today, bro. That's not working. The technology was not that good when this dropped, bro. Stop.
2019, Prince Andrew gave an interview to BBC Newsnight in an attempt to explain his side of the story. He admitted that he had seen Epstein a few times a year in the early 2000s. He also acknowledged poor judgment, especially in staying at Epstein's New York residence after his conviction. However, his explanations were widely seen as evasive, and the interview caused public backlash. As a result, Prince Andrew stepped back from public duties and lost several military titles and royal patronages.
I hope so.
It was also revealed that Epstein had helped pay off a personal debt of Sarah Ferguson, Prince Andrew's former wife. In 2021, Virginia Giuffre filed a civil lawsuit against Prince Andrew in a United States federal court. Though Andrew continued to deny all allegations, he eventually settled the case in early 2022. The settlement—
When you settle cases, I'm not gonna lie, bro, it makes me think that you're freaking guilty every time. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Maybe that's not how it works. Somebody tell me down below in the comment section. But 9 times out of 10, it feels like when somebody settles a case, it's because they want to keep that shit on shush. They want to keep it on hush mode. You're innocent, bro. Just fight it in court.
The settlement did not include an admission of guilt, but it further damaged his public image.
I don't know.
As of 2025, Prince Andrew is no longer under investigation by US authorities, and he is free to travel internationally.
That's what money does, guys. Yo, get some money, you get to do all types of stuff. You get to touch on— don't do that, obviously, but that's how money rules the world.
Advocacy groups for Epstein's victims continue to call for more transparency, arguing that no powerful figure should be immune from accountability.
Yeah.
Ghislaine Maxwell is one of the most significant figures in the story of Jeffrey Epstein. Her relationship with him was not just personal, but also operational. She played a central role in building and maintaining the sex trafficking network.
She is the reason why this dude had the operation. She was the brains, he was the heart and soul.
That brought Epstein to global attention. Maxwell attended Oxford University and moved to New York shortly after her father's death in 1991. That move marked the beginning of her relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Their connection began through shared social circles, and by the mid-1990s, they had become extremely close.
Your wife?
Epstein also referred to her as his best friend, and their partnership was both personal and professional.
Okay.
In public, Maxwell was often seen as a well-connected socialite, but in private, witness accounts and court records showed she was deeply involved in Epstein's illegal activities.
Is this his wife or his girlfriend, or is this his side chick?
Employees at Epstein's home described her as the lady of the house. She helped manage his properties, handled money transfers, organized events, and monitored staff. However, her most serious role involved the recruitment and grooming of underage girls. Multiple victims testified that Maxwell approached them under the pretense of job opportunities.
Hell no. And sometimes I feel like people don't think that women would be a part of this. Like, oh, you're a woman trying to freaking groom other women and get them for men. Now, there are some disgusting, terrible women. You can't trust everybody out here, bro. And that feeling of, oh, it could never be a woman who does this is probably why freaking Epstein hired her in the first place to do it, because they would never suspect it.
Some said she invited them for tea or shopping and acted as a trustworthy adult figure. Once trust was gained, they were brought into Epstein's homes and directed to give him massages, which often turned sexual. For example,
happy ending? Happy endings? Is Draco Malfoy?
Described how Maxwell spent time with her and her mother before gradually introducing her to Epstein's abuse. Virginia Giuffre also accused Maxwell of recruiting her and claimed Maxwell was involved in the abuse itself. Maxwell's social connections helped extend Epstein's influence. She introduced him to high-profile figures such as Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton, and Donald Trump. These introductions helped Epstein gain credibility and access to more—
And how did she know them, for example? Like, was she performing some under-the-desk activities for freaking Donald Trump? Was she going under there and how does she know them? What is her thing? Why is she famous?
Powerful circles. Many of the names that later appeared in Epstein's contact book—
It's the freaking Death Note?
—were likely shared through Maxwell's network. After Epstein's 2019 arrest and death, attention turned to Maxwell. She was arrested in 2020 and charged with several federal crimes, including sex trafficking of minors, conspiracy to transport minors, and perjury. Her trial began in late 2021. In December of that year, she was convicted on 5 of 6 counts. In 2022, she was sentenced to 20 years in federal prison.
That's it?
She is currently
I feel like 20 years is not enough, bro. Sometimes they make him 20 years for some light stuff. I can't think of a crime right now, but damn.
Serving her sentence in Florida. Maxwell has attempted to appeal her conviction. Her legal team argued that she was protected under a 2007 non-prosecution deal made with Epstein in Florida. However, courts rejected this claim.
What is that? The freaking Epstein said I can't, so no, don't arrest her. So therefore she's not arrested. The court's not gonna think Epstein is freaking big bro. No. As a matter of fact, he's not even alive anymore.
Explaining that the agreement only covered local charges in Florida and did not apply to her case in New York. In 2025, her appeal reached the US Supreme Court, but the Department of Justice recommended against reviewing it. There has also been public pressure for Maxwell to disclose more information about Epstein's network. She has hinted at willingness to testify before Congress Congress, but as of now, no official effort has been made to bring her forward.
I think what she should probably do is, if I was her, I would try to freaking threaten to expose people for a lighter sentence of some sort, if that would work.
Chris Tucker is a famous comedian and actor best known for his role.
Chris Tucker? Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker? Freaking Rush Hour Chris Tucker? The one and only? Damn! I don't know. What is his other lines? I can't think of them.
In the Rush Hour movie series, his name has occasionally come up in discussions about Jeffrey Epstein, largely because of a single trip he took in 2002. In September 2002, Chris Tucker joined a humanitarian trip to several African countries. This trip was organized by the Clinton Foundation and included visits to South Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, Rwanda, and Mozambique. The purpose was to raise awareness about HIV and AIDS and to support public health work across the continent. Other people on the trip included former US President Bill Clinton and actor Kevin Spacey. The group traveled on Jeffrey Epstein's private jet. Tucker's name appears in Epstein's flight logs from this trip. That fact alone has led to speculation. However, it is important to note that there is no evidence Tucker had a personal relationship with Epstein, or that he knew anything about Epstein's crimes.
Got it.
In fact, Tucker has stated publicly that he did not even know who Epstein was. In an interview, he referred to Epstein simply as this guy, indicating he was not someone Tucker was familiar with at the time.
I don't know. Do I believe him? I kind of believe him. It's Chris Tucker. I mean, damn, maybe it's because he's black. Is that why I believe him? Hopefully not. I don't know. The Chris Tucker himself could never be a part of no Epstein scheme, man. Let's be real, man. Come on. Come on, man.
The speculation increased when comedian Cat Williams made a public joke that seemed to suggest Chris Tucker had been to Epstein's private island. However, no evidence supports that claim.
And how would Cat Williams know that? Unless he's been there himself or something.
Tucker has never been linked to Epstein's island, and no official record shows he had ever visited the property. No victims, legal documents, or investigations have connected Tucker to any misconduct. As of today, Chris Tucker has not been accused of any crime related to Jeffrey Epstein. He has not been mentioned in any lawsuits, criminal complaints, or credible media investigations. In Tucker's case, all evidence suggests he was part of a well-known humanitarian effort and had no deeper connection to Epstein.
Got you, okay.
Naomi Campbell is one of the most recognizable supermodels in the world, known for her global fashion career and humanitarian
Is she not wearing
efforts. She has also been connected, at least socially, to Jeffrey Epstein. Campbell reportedly met Jeffrey Epstein in 2001. According to her own account, the introduction came through her then boyfriend, Flavio Briatore.
How much did he pay you to be with him, bro? I'm not gonna lie, bro. This age gap difference looks crazy. Why does he look like he's 90 and you look like you're like 25, 30? That French baguette can't be good enough, bro. Flavio Briatore, right? He's French, right? I don't know. Maybe he's Italian.
And came through her then boyfriend, Flavio Briatore. Campbell described Epstein as someone who is often seen at high-profile events, such as Victoria's Secret fashion shows, which were commonly attended by many public figures during that period. Her name appears in Epstein's
People are going to freaking Victoria's Secret. I get uncomfortable even going into the freaking store, bro. No.
Appears in Epstein's contact list and on his private flight logs, specifically in the years 2001 and 2003. In Campbell's case, no evidence has surfaced suggesting she engaged in or was aware of Epstein's criminal activities. Virginia Giuffre, one of the most prominent Epstein accusers, mentioned Naomi Campbell in unsealed court documents. Giuffre recalled meeting Campbell at a yacht birthday party hosted in the south of France. This detail is important, but also limited. Giuffre never accused Campbell of any wrongdoing,
just met her,
nor did she suggest that Campbell was involved in abuse or trafficking. The mention served more to show how interconnected Epstein's social circle was, rather than to imply criminal activity by all attendees.
So far, I'm not gonna lie, I trust that lady who came out. Anybody she says that visited the Epstein Island, I believe her. Anybody she says that was there, I believe her. And anybody she says that she met but wasn't there, I also believe that, bro.
In response to her name being linked to Epstein, Campbell made a public statement in 2019. She said she was sickened by Epstein's crimes and offered her support to the victims. She addressed the fact that her name had appeared in court records and in the media, stating that while she had met Epstein through social circles, she had no involvement in his legal actions. She also expressed frustration that simply being photographed at the same event or listed in a contact book could lead to misleading narrative.
That is true, because like if I randomly happen to be at a freaking Diddy party or something, you know, on a random Tuesday, I know sometimes it happens, bro. Sometimes we randomly are at Diddy parties, bro, and I get photographed with Diddy himself next to me, bro. It's not even my fault for real. I wasn't cool with him like that. Now, all jokes aside, though, I kind of believe that, though. I can see how like that could definitely like ruin her reputation just for her being at an event with the same dudes.
She has publicly condemned Epstein's behavior and clarified her limited connection.
This is why you gotta ask who all gonna be there before you go to an event, bro. You gotta ask who's gonna be there, bro. You gotta see the list.
To date, there has been no credible claim of misconduct against her related to this case. Alan Dershowitz is a well-known legal scholar, author, and former Harvard Law School professor who
I don't know who this is, but his name sounds a little bit like World War II.
became connected to Jeffrey Epstein in the early 2000s. Their relationship began within elite academic and legal circles, but it eventually placed Dershowitz under intense public scrutiny due to both his legal work and later accusations. Dershowitz first met Epstein through mutual associates who were also involved in intellectual and philanthropic communities. Dershowitz reportedly viewed Epstein as intellectually curious and saw him as someone who enjoyed being surrounded by accomplished individuals.
Okay, he was a freaking smart guy. He liked to question things. Okay, he was rich. He was a businessman. Of course, we know this. We know this.
In 2005, when Epstein faced criminal investigation in Florida for soliciting a minor, Dershowitz joined his legal defense team. He played a key role in negotiating a plea deal with federal prosecutors. The final agreement allowed Epstein to plead guilty to 2 state...
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Something about being a defense attorney sometimes rubs me the wrong way, and I guess that's exactly why I couldn't do it, because think about it like this, bro. I'm not defending some dude who did some crazy crime with the chance of the fact that he actually did it, bro. Especially knowing who Epstein is. The fact that you would even take that case kind of ruins your reputation a little bit. I don't know, and it goes against my own character personally. It don't matter if there's $1 million, $10 million, or a freaking Irish leprechaun with a pot of gold in his hand on the other side of the rainbow, man. I don't want to take that.
Charges, which led to a 13-month jail sentence with work release. Dershowitz later described this as a favorable plea, but insisted it was based on legal merit, not special privilege. The deal also controversially granted immunity to any unnamed co-conspirators. Dershowitz defended that clause as standard legal practice, but critics argued it gave Epstein's inner circle undue protection.
Really?
Virginia Giuffre later alleged that she had been trafficked to several powerful men, including Alan Dershowitz. She claimed Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell forced her into sexual encounters with him when she was underage. Dershowitz denied the allegations forcefully, stating that he had never met Giuffre and that she was lying.
Why would she lie?
He provided travel logs, records, and testimony to support his claim, and filed defamation lawsuits against her and her legal team. Giuffre countersued. In 2022, the legal battle ended in a confidential settlement. As part of the agreement,
anytime, bro, I'm telling y'all, anytime there's a settlement with some of this, I don't know, bro. He probably did it.
Giuffre issued a public statement saying she may have made a mistake in identifying Dershowitz and acknowledged that her accusation may have been incorrect. Dershowitz emphasized that he had been vindicated and reiterated that he had always told the truth.
You paid her to say that, though, no?
Beyond his personal defense, Dershowitz has become a vocal figure in calls for transparency around the Epstein case. He has urged the release of sealed documents and grand jury materials related to Epstein's network. He also supported the idea that Ghislaine Maxwell should be allowed, or even compelled, to testify before Congress. He has also attempted to address ongoing rumors about a supposed Epstein client list. Dershowitz has said that no such list exists in the form people expect. Instead, he argues that law enforcement already knows which individuals were mentioned by victims, and that further speculation only distracts from the real evidence gathered during investigations. Although Dershowitz was never charged with any crime related to Epstein's actions, his involvement as a lawyer and the later accusations have made him a controversial figure. Thank you very much for watching this.
That was every celebrity that was on the Epstein list explained. I mean, the most shocking one was definitely Chris Tucker being on there. Let me know who you think down below, who's actually on the list, who is yet to been revealed, who you think might be on the list as well. Yeah, as always, link me any new videos you want me to check out. Discord link in the description. Comment down below what you want to see next. Subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 40,000 subscribers. As always, have a great rest of your day. It's love you, I love you, and I'm out. Brief intermission. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 40,000 subscribers. Thank you very much.